10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Vengeful spirit.
Dire team pick.
Outworld
Faceless
Devourer.
Welcome back, everyone. It is the second series of the day. Team Rave versus WarriorsGaming.Unity. Warriors, kind of a new team that's definitely drew a lot of eyes. We were talking about earlier how the Epicenter qualifier, blah, 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 that actually turned out to be the ESL One Manila qualifier, but still, they got themselves to a finals of a qualifier, and that's pretty damn awesome. They may have lost to Fnatic, but, you know, pretty much everyone's going to lose to Fnatic at this point. I've got Moppax joining me once again for the second series of the day. Moppax, you siding with Warriors here?
I'm not too sure. I think Rave have been in a little bit of a slump, whereas like Warriors Gaming are obviously on riding a little bit of a high lately. So it kind of comes down to who's performing lately versus who's been historically obviously had more experience at maybe some bigger events and yada yada yada. So far, I mean, honestly, just this early in the draft, even with the OD and the Faceless Void, I haven't gotten to see an OD in quite a while. I think there's a good reason for that. I think the hero's crazy good right now, and I know they've been successful with this combo in the past, so feeling pretty good for them at least.
It's kind of, I don't want to take anything away from OD Faceless Void, because definitely a good combination, but it feels pretty commitment heavy to get those two. Like Void as an offlaner and OD. I guess one of the best ways to punish Void offlane is to run an OD safe lane. So I guess you are covering your bases a little bit in that regard, but this combo is definitely a lot of commitment from Rave, and Warriors have their full draft to see this strategy and attempt to counter it.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. And they are starting off with the Doom too, so its Radiant side, it's not quite as potent, I think, as the Dire one has been for a lot of teams, whereas seems to have a little bit more success helping out with like some of these off-lane heroes. So I think unless this is the position 3 Doom, which it honestly might be the case just because of how rough that Radiant offlane is, that could end up being one of the more interesting parts. And then where do they want to send that? Like, let's say it is a safe lane Dire OD, like what are you even going to put in that off lane for the Radiant side? It's pretty much guaranteed going to be some sort of a jungler there. And
I think if that's the case, you actually leave your other support offlane / support last pick, and if it is an OD safe lane, you run Doom offlane, and then he just does this sort of like half jungling, half offlane scenario. I think that's probably your best compromise to be able to deal with that hero, because obviously that is every offlaner's worst nightmare, is dealing with an OD safe lane.
Yeah, so they'll even get rid of the Beastmaster too, which would have been one of the best ones left in the pool in terms of like some sort of maybe even like a dual offlane or someone who can also just transition into the jungle and have a relatively good time. So with that being gone, and now you kind of start looking towards these other classics, whether it be just the supports that are going to work well. They already got rid of the Witch Doctor, which one of the big ones. Without Chens or Enchantresses, you don't tend to look towards the Crystal Maidens, so get ourselves down the Lion. It's pretty solid, But other than that, there's not that many of these like big old combo heroes that are going to work out with the Faceless Void, and they actually will go back for the Invoker. So interesting that they didn't want to give that away in the first phase, but well, in terms of like picking it up that early, but it wasn't banned out by Rave, so they sneak it in a little bit later.
Yeah. Okay. What do we got next for Rave? Another support most likely against Doom and Invoker, I think. No, Witch Doctor's already out. What's another
10
decent
seconds
healing
remaining.
hero that's not Dazzle? I guess Oracle's in there.
5
Oracle OD is a
seconds
good combo.
remaining.
Yeah, that's like very legit. Lots of teams been running that one, so
Reserve
be all right
time.
with that. I don't know if they're gonna. Yeah, they're gonna give it away. So let's grab the clinks. So. And some solid physical damage. Doom should be having a little bit of a hard time with that, especially if he ends up being in the offlane anyway. Odin or Clinks, either one going to be giving him a real headache. So we'll see if they want to end up going back for a more survivable offlaner. But I mean, it's a Doom. He does pretty well as well. The only thing that could end up happening would be like a sneaky Brood or something.
10 seconds remaining.
That actually would be a really good pickup for them.
Yeah.
5 seconds
That would
remaining.
that would destroy Rave.
Question is, do you want to risk it right now, or do you want to wait for?
I think you
feel
pick
like
it up
it's gonna
now.
be banned.
There's no support that offsets the damage that you'll do. And just like looking at the draft, right? The Broodmother,
Yeah.
excellent choice by Warriors. Good call, Mopex, because that even if they pick up like what Wyvern.
That's the thing, right? Because
Yeah.
you've shown all your cores, so
Yeah,
all the
it-
classic counters are worthless.
yeah. It like support countering Broodmother just isn't
10 seconds
like it
remaining.
does something, but it doesn't do enough to really be able to offset the
5
damage that
seconds
Broodmother's
remaining.
going to be able to do during the laning phase. So I think Warriors definitely
Reserve
winning the
time.
draft quite heavily now.
They don't
were able
even
to
run
forfeit
Brood,
that
I don't
one.
think. So that's a big sign of confidence for me in this team.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember. Yeah, I'm looking through the match history, and they've like won game 3 months ago. That's what we're talking at here. Like that's massive to be able to bring this out in a situation like this.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Radiant team ban.
Well, Team Rave choose to ban away the Ember Spirit. There's enough carries in the pool that Warriors don't really care what was banned there too
10
much.
seconds remaining.
They'll be happy with whatever they end up getting.
5
Meanwhile,
seconds
Warriors'
remaining.
biggest, I mean, I think Winter Wyvern is probably the best support to deal with
Reserve time.
Broodmother just constantly, but maybe they're afraid of something else, like Disruptor. Okay.
Dire team pick.
I think you're kind of right there. Just with the Winter Wyvern, there's not much else that's going to help in that scenario. Maybe they're thinking some more damage, but with the AOE,
Maybe that means they want to go Slark or something because the
Radiant team pick.
because the Disruptor. I'm not sure. Oh, Sand King. Is there any way that they can change?
That's what I'm trying to
No,
think.
they can't. They can't. All three of those cores are not able to rotate into a support position or a jungle position. So
And Faces Void, Iron Talon, just straight jungle.
yeah, I guess that'd be something. Then they would have to run Klink's Lion
10
dual
seconds
off
remaining.
lane against a tri-lane that you don't even know what it is
5
yet. Or
seconds
sorry,
With a
dual lane.
Radiant jungling Doom, which is like the only scenario where he becomes like mega value on Radiant
Reserve
side.
time.
Yeah.
If you try and like aggro into him. Ay. Alright, well this is like a free pick here for Warriors Gaming. They can just throw out the fifth hero can just go hang out outside or something like that. You know, he's just kind of done. Like, no, I think we can handle it with the 4 we got now. We have here some punish. Just they could go for the Oracle of their own, honestly. That'd be kind of hilarious. But they have so many
10
options here.
seconds remaining.
They go for the Spectre. Gap closer against OD and Clinks. I feel like it's a little greedy by them to go for the Spectre here, but
Oh yeah, I was starting to picture like mid brood. I was thinking the Invoker, but no, we'll just be going for the right position for Doom. So yeah, spec. That's solid. I mean, your early game's going to be really good. It is kind of greedy, though. It's going to be like harder to actually punish off of what you're gaining by running this brood and everything, and like kind of nail that big timing, like gain this lead and then really cement it into some sort of like essentially a win. Whereas this is more like we're going to cement it into an extremely favorable position, hopefully with their Spectre, and then then it's a little bit harder, I think, with their current lineup to close it out. Like Rave would have a chance for comeback, especially when you're dealing with Faceless Void, Sand King, Clinks. Like there's a lot of high ground potential for like major mistakes. So, and they all DC, okay.
All right, good timing for a pause, I guess, for Ninja Boogie. Warriors clearly at a LAN cafe or something. Doubt they have a team house yet.
Yeah, I think they mentioned that they were running over to a LAN cafe.
Do you know who Rappy is? Like, have you seen him at all? I know Derp is supposed to be. Is it the older brother of Rio or the younger brother? One of the two.
Which one is related to DJ?
Maybe it's Derp. Sorry. It's probably Derp.
I think Derp is DJ's younger brother, I believe.
Okay, I got that.
And Rappy, I don't know, I've watched him a couple times. He's good. Had some solid performances.
Okay. Yeah, that was the thing I was kind of questioning the most. Thing is, he's taking over a core position. I don't really know anything about him, so I was just wondered if he was any good. So Ninja Boogie is going to be starting off with sentries as well as dust on his Sand King. I guess they expect him to be able to jungle well enough. I don't know. It's kind of tough against a Broodmother, right? They're expecting him to be able to jungle fast enough that he gets Blink Dagger before Wen just takes over the whole entire jungle.
Yeah, I don't know. That's like kind of wishful thinking to me here. You can guarantee tier 1's going to be down. I guess. I mean, definitely it's more favorable on the Dire side than if you were trying to do the same thing on the Radiant. With the way that the camps are positioned, you kind of get like this control. It's kind of where it ends up like ending. You know, it's harder to get into this sort of an area without taking down this tower first. So maybe it'll be possible. But even then, and no matter what happens in the top lane, there is just going to be so much pressure coming in up there. It has to be from Rave. So Nana should have a pretty good time in the mid lane. And then, of course, you're running a Spectre. So Ajit should be doing pretty well down there, too. Oh, yeah. Just solid. They've set themselves up so well. Once again, it's just like execration in our matches this morning. You can really see how this is supposed to propel them into a very comfortable position.
Yeah. Spectre does get the bounty rune, because I guess the Invoker wasn't going to be there in time. Kind of interesting. Faster level 6, I suppose, for him, and that will actually help out that top lane quite a bit, because you know the Broodmother is able to play really aggressive, and it's one of those kind of like offlaners that solo sets up kills, kind of like Beastmaster, except for it just comes online so much faster.
Yeah, for now, I'd like to see them like really pressure this Brood right now. And they don't see her sentry because, of course, she's put in the tree. So we'll see if she can spot theirs. The dance. No, they're searching in the wrong area for now.
Man, it's so annoying that you can do that.
I know. It's so obnoxious. It's just like, where's this damn thing? Do they even have a Quelling Blade? No, they're even using tangos. Oh, there goes one. So that's it. There's the dust. Oh, I don't think that was the dust.
It's too late. I mean, they could actually force him out of the webs, and he doesn't have another one for 25 seconds. So this actually turns out to be pretty fortuitous. Unless Wen can like somehow juke it and double back. No. So yeah, he's kind of stuck out of lane for a while now. I'm not sure why he keeps on running down like he's somehow endangered. The real problem is him being out of lane. And he just needs to try and figure how to get back there as fast as possible. All the way around, though.
Man, this is like the mega long way.
Guess he really wanted to make sure he didn't die to those supports.
Denied. Money changes.
Alright, so he finally gets back. JO's now level 3. Solid. And they did get down that the other sentry, of course, never went down, so they both just know about each other now. When should find it. And I believe he just did. Oh, he's not going to tango it? Oh, he missed with his tango. It's too bad.
Still, though. Appears to kind of works in the end. Ninja Boogie's going to come in with a fresh set. That one will not be spotted by Wen.
Alright, they're going to know exactly where this one is, right? Yeah, they should be able to find this.
Or maybe not. Jason the Broodmother trying to catch him, but it's not going to happen. Mid lane. Prisman buys a little bit of time. The Invoker's going to come in with an Ice Wall, though. Rior is actually just going to stay put here and fight Nana as best he can. And he almost kills him. Will be able to get one more right click, but it's not quite enough. Nana survives with something like 5 HP. And Rior is forced to healing Salve back up while our Invoker actually has to head all the way back to base.
That was a really quick rotation. That was pretty solid by Ninja Boogie. Just trying to help skid everything. Jay on top dropping low, but they just immediately turned around.
No!
But
he went in Viz just in time. They almost had the Broodmother there.
Oh. I really thought Boogie was going to go for that YOLO. He's so slow right now on the Brood, but... How much HP is he at? Man, he's playing so forward right now. Wen's the risky guy.
Yeah, he really is. Be able to get Soul Ring though, and he could get a wand if he wants to, but doesn't seem like it. Starts building up that army. It's the part where Broodmother becomes impossible to deal with.
Yeah. They made it, he's just about to crack level 4 and they didn't kill him, so definitely not what they were looking at here with a Lion and a Sand King. I mean, one stun should have been enough to get it, but couldn't quite find that Rior. About to go down mid.
Bottle up.
The bottles!
Just in time. Now Nana, expecting that he pushed the OD out of lane, is going to sit forward. Might just be far enough on forward that derp and Ninja Boogie are able to get this kill. Looks like they are. Combo of stuns and first blood picked up for the Sand King. That's definitely a big boost.
Yeah, this is like the last time they can really do this as well before Wayne starts getting up to like...
Cow.
Okay.
So much damage. It's great.
Right.
He just ran in, he smacked the lion once, and then all of a sudden hurled the boulder, which Hurl Boulder, by the way, I've been spamming a lot of Doom as well. Hurl Boulder is the ability to have as a Doom bringer. Like later on in the game you can get Purge, but like level 1, here's my ideal. Level 1, I get the Big Satyr for the HP regen and for the occasional blast, or that allows me to harass heroes or maybe clear through a stack or something like that a little bit faster. And then it goes Hurl Boulder next, as soon as I want to start like moving around to a lane and try and gank. And then later on in the game, once I've got like drums and blink, I want to have that Purge creep. That I think is the 3 ideal creeps, and then everything else is just kind of situational.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, right now, the fact that it's no mana cost is just so nice, too. Afu just doing what he wants.
Look at Wen. About to kill Lion, or not, actually. I realized he didn't have the mana for it.
Yeah, he already sent J.O. home, too. J.O.'s actually heading down bot. So, there's still no points into the... I thought maybe there was going to be some caustic attempts, but we're not rocking that still.
J.O. Biding his time here, waiting for the opportunity. Void's trying to set it up. They are going to be able to go on to him. They jump over, they get the kill on the Vengeful Spirit, but it did cost full rotations here from Rave. And looks like they might still be able to fight this one. They have the Chronosphere catching Bull, but it also caught Jayo. This will allow Derp to be able to set up for an Impale. Gets taken out by a Sunstrike though. They still manage to kill the Spectre. Meanwhile, our Doom battling out with the Faceless Void realizes you can't win this fight. Has Scorched Earth coming up in a second, but he gets stunned. Oh, that's so good. He dies now. Poker is able to finish him off. Turn around, throws a boulder, double boulder. No, it's not enough.
Oh, the dream.
Pop the Fairy Fire. Beautiful save. Meanwhile, mid, smoke up, hits the missile. Rior just cannot seem to get that Imprison off until it seems to be almost a bit too late. He's taken too much damage, and he should end up going down. Faceless Void also got caught right inside the Roshan pit. I think he was trying to suicide a Roshan, maybe? Because he already bought out his items, and Spectre happened to clean him up with the ult.
Oh man, I don't even think she haunted on him. She did. That was just like purely illusion damage. 3 points in the Desolate. That is very fortuitous. And so, well, as expected, Jayo was just like gone from top though. And they do have quite a bit of damage. I don't know. They can definitely go for some harass here.
Yep. They gotta play real careful. This is part of the problem with Spectre and Broodmother. There is some synergy in that Broodmother sets up kills for the Spectre, but Spectre is also not an efficient jungler, which means once the Broodmother takes over the lane, there's no reason the support should be there, and so they're always gonna rotate to the enemy safe lane. So it just kind of ironically, Broodmother creating so much space creates pressure on the Spectre because she drives the supports out of lane.
It looks like they're starting to get a little bit tired here of Ninja Boogie and his shenanigans. Bring up the Doom, but Jayo is back. I feel like they just want to dive this tower and try and deal with this sandstorm. But it doesn't look like they'll be successful. They could go for a Burrow Strike through the trees here.
Doom gonna lead with a boulder onto Derp. Gonna be able to quickly kill the Lion, but most likely our Doom is going down as well. Ninja Boogie does manage to get a lot of little spiderlings out of that one. Double stuns onto Jayo. When doesn't punish though. And looks like that fight will end there.
Gwen also heading into the Hand of Midas build, so certain Broodmothers love this, others never really tend to go for it, but I think this is a pretty solid game for it. You have a Spectre, you're definitely not aiming for the immediate win. There's not just some core that's about to come online and totally wreck this game, so. Kind of seems like a good Necro, well, maybe not Necro, but just general controlling, I should say, I guess. Making sure to getting rid of these towers. Definitely a solid Orchid game up against Jayo, if you can force him into the earlier BKB. Same thing with the OD, too.
Oh, they get the stun. Derp is going down in exchange for the Vengeful Spirit. This does give the Spectre another kill, so I think it's favorable for Warrior. Or actually, did the Sunstrike get it? No, Spectre got it. So, I like the way that Rave are keeping themselves in this game, though. Picking up the Sand King, I think, was really smart by them. The Sand King matched up against a Broodmother one-on-one as soon as the Clinks is able to just full rotate out and jungle and such.
Dire's top tower is
Yeah, it's like the only reason this tower's still up. It's pretty miraculous considering the way this lane's been going that Wen hasn't been able to burn it down here, so. I don't know, I'm kind of surprised he hasn't like gone for like some sentry plays or something over here, trying to get the spiders on top of Ninja Boogie, but he's just been doing a good job, I guess, of that overall spacing. And they haven't really committed many rotations up here either. This is like the first time Zaki's even been here, so they should get Ninja Boogie now.
Spectre able to be a part of that one. Invoker does claim the kill though, so experience for everybody on Warriors. That kill.
Yeah, that's what they needed, right? So like that just finally burns down the tower. It just took one rotation of the Venge to totally secure it. Bottom lane though, they obviously have abandoned that. Zajic comes up top, and if they could get a little bit of pressure here from Jay, I'm sure they'd be happy, but very wary of maybe some TP rotations coming in.
As he should be. Jayo? No reason not to start pressuring the tower. I'm surprised he doesn't train straight. Put some damage on it. Wen's gonna come bottom. as the Broodmother and defend this.
Yeah, I think they're trying to bait something out here. Like, they want some sort of a commitment. It's like, no, Clinks is totally top. We're smoking at you guys, and it's just a faceless void.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But not going to be successful.
Radiant's bottom
So
tower
all the
is
heroes
under
showing
attack.
themselves, they lay down counters, hoping to be able to quick grab the Broodmother, but it doesn't happen
Is under attack.
when already planning on cutting that creep wave when he can.
Yeah, so this is pretty unique right now, right? Like, our Brood has now fully shifted down. She's starting to commit the webs, making it very clear that now she's going to be working towards this tower. And they don't want to just easily give up this Radiant jungle that you typically see. And it could be just because of how much Roshan control they'd actually be giving up over the Dire if you start committing all your resources like to this instead. And farming that side. I kind of like this.
No, we haven't actually spoken too much about him, but he's got Midas, he's got 1600 gold, he's been a part of a number of kills thanks to Sunstrike.
Dire's top
And
tower is under attack.
just kind of farming away.
Yeah, pretty quiet game for him. I think he was probably the target they wanted mid with that smoke, just trying to slow down that Invoker in his climb.
Dire's bottom tower is under
But
attack.
this is really interesting. And the Brood play is just totally working out right now. And suddenly you have to bring Rappy all the way back down bottom, like he just smoked up in the top lane. He's not getting firm done for himself here. Can't deal with the spiders whatsoever. Like, what's he gonna do?
Oh no, he's going for the full Vlads too. This is not the play.
No, I don't think you're gonna be jungling enough for that, my friend. Mid
Gonna
lane though.
catch Doom. He is super dead. There is a man who actually does kind of need some armor items like Vlad's. He's probably gonna go Blade Mail though.
Dire's
Blade Mail
bottom
works
tower
really
is
well
under
against
attack.
OD and Clinks, I think.
Yeah, very good Blade Mill game.
Radiant's top tower is
Man,
under
Ben,
attack.
just having a time down
Dire's
here.
bottom tower is
Gonna have
under
a Vlad's of his own. Just loving it. Forcing rotations. Like, I guess it's a good thing they got that kill mid because they've been wandering around for a while. It's, again, impressive that Jayo's been able to keep up this farm, frankly. Managing to snag up a kill here or there. We've had a couple of Clinks able to, I don't know, find these kills throughout the games lately. It just seems like it's a hero that, obviously, yeah, you get the death pack. It's kind of like you're a little bit of some greedy devour and everything, but it can be also one of those heroes that you tend to fall behind on as you wander and wander.
I really think that they should consider picking up a gem soon. Oh, Spectre Ultimate goes down. Jo in a good position to be able to punish Wen here while they get the kill mid onto the Lion. So they got OD Lion in exchange for the Broodmother. And they're going to be able to trade towers as well. Actually, Broodmother got the tower at bottom lane and they pushed down mid. So it's not even a trade. Forgot they already took that safe lane tower.
Dire's middle
Yeah,
tower
they
is
even
under attack.
used the Chrono down bottom too, so.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Unfortunately, it won't be here as Nana comes in. No one else is here though. Oh, this would be a big pick off though. It's gonna be a dance.
Good bash. Trying to run away. Ghost Walk, but they had the vision on Jo. He's been carrying some dust for a little while now.
Under attack.
And another kill going to Rave. That was awkward. Wrong place for our Invoker to boots a travel in, that's for sure.
I guess he just figured they were gonna leave once they didn't have Chrono, but solid stuff by them, sticking around, make sure they got it. So we get this casual buckler. This is like the new thing.
Oh, nice pick off on the Spectre. They have to use Epicenter and still barely kills her. But, they managed to keep the Finger of Death intact while the rest of Rave are taking Roshan. Rave's doing a pretty good job controlling this game and coming back once there was a lot of movement. The laning phase broke down. Rave are kind of doing everything right.
Yeah, this is kind of crazy. They just exploded after that big play in the mid where they had to swap into the Doom. They used the Haunt to get that, and once those were all down, Rave, I think, were just kind of like, all right, let's go. At the same time, it was kind of lucky that they were going on the Brood, you know, in that exact same moment, allowing them then to capitalize right on top of the Invoker as well. But now getting the Roshan. They're right back in this game. The Broodmother, they're not really feeling the impact of her simply because of the way she did this switch. Like, instead of expanding further in and taking over this jungle, we've actually been seeing quite a few Rave heroes still capitalizing on it. Obviously, like the Sand King, the Lion, they wandered their way through. That's how they got the kill on the Spectre. And yeah, it did get you this extra tower, and you're trying to secure a little bit of maybe Roshan control for your team, but obviously that didn't quite work out just by your two big cores getting wiped. So they've lost the Aegis. Gwen can't really do anything down here. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised. Maybe the Vlads will work here. Like, look how rich he is now. Oh man, this is a very fortunate, like, 4 minutes for this Faceless Void.
Yeah.
I'm so shocked he got a Blink Dagger.
Me too. Like, before the 20-minute mark, I was expecting, like, this to at least be 28 minutes. With the way that I thought Warriors were going to take over the game and stuff, but not the case at all. I can't... How is he second in net worth?
I just don't even know what happened. Like, he's just been punching spiders, to be fair. You'd think he had a maelstrom or something. What's his last at? 90. Damn. He's above his OD.
Alright, Broodmother. Time to start throwing those. Stop throwing those at the Faceless Void, rather. Now it's not the time for anything like that.
I actually can't believe how farmed he is right now.
Oh, this is really unfortunate. Oh, I thought they were going to give it to the Spectre for the short haunt cooldown. Because they're going for gank right now. I guess it's more important that you win this fight.
Yeah,
and that's what the Invoker Arcane will be able to do for them. Ninja Boogie instantly with a 2-man stun is going to be doomed up, unable to get off a good epicenter, but it doesn't matter. That stun by itself turns the fight pretty well for Rave. And they manage to take out 2. They're going to be able to turn towards the Spectre. Spectre ends up actually getting the kill onto the Lion. Thanks to that good swap back there. Will cost Zaki his life, but might just save our Spectre, who ends up getting bashed. 1, 2 hits, and Rior gets the double kill. Bottom lane being swarmed out by the Broodmother does get the tier 2 tower, but that's all Ninja Boogie right there. Him being able to land that that quick stun, instant sandstorm as soon as the hunt goes out, and then the immediate Burrow strike on the 2.
Yeah, I'm sure that actually would have been, I would say, maybe 1 hero dead for Warriors. Had that not happened. Like, that was huge plays coming in. They had the full vision from the haunt. They couldn't see them from the side of Rave, right? Like, they had no idea where they were. They don't have maximum vision coming up from some Spectre giving you this a solid bird flying business going on. So massive stuns, big plays, and then of course that's all you need with the chrono. That Sunstrike, close, but still 130 HP. Guild OD.
And he still got Aegis too.
That's true.
So he don't even care.
Are we going Radiance this game? No, we got Yasha.
Could still go. I think he needs to go back for the Radiance. Actually, they are not winning this game by that 30-minute marker. You know, like Spectres with these kind of builds, the whole Diffusal Manta, they hit this big power spike at like 30 minutes. They destroy the game. I don't think the Spectre is going to be able to do this, considering how Rave are doing. So I think you have to play kind of the longer game and get the Radiance, which is better for farming.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting, like, with the looks like they might get the Aegis here. I was expecting with the Broodmother rotation that he would go Radiance with all that space.
Gonna doom up Rior. Pop the Haunt as well. This fight's looking good. Done it. A good control there. Is going to be able to catch 2. And Jayo's just laying into everybody as they walk past him to get to the OD. I have no clue how Warriors thought that was actually supposed to go well for them, but they're going to get wiped now. Or not quite wiped, but, you know, considering Broodmother is never there in the fights, yeah, you can kind of call it over.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Well,
attack.
I'm not sure what their total lead ever was. What did they get up to? About 3.5K? Things were starting to look pretty good for the old Warriors. Not so much now. We've pretty much completely reversed that. And that was kind of a disastrous fight. I guess they just didn't think they were all there. Their vision was ending around here. Thought they had a more advantageous position. Maybe OD was out further than he should have been just because he had an Aegis.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Oh man, did they ever just get punished for that?
Yeah. They have got to start using their disables on Jo. There is no reason this guy should ever be able to literally sit there and right-click you all to death. He didn't have to move once. He just A-clicked his way through that whole entire team fight.
Yeah, and that is one thing that they don't, they don't have a Lion, really. They have a Doom for sure, but he's not really looking towards the Clinks because it's not exactly the key core target. And it's just the Vengeful Spirit's so focused on trying to get these saves from the Chronos that I think she's having a hard time actually locking down people because she tends to die inside of it after saving someone else.
Yeah.
How do they combat that, though? Like, I guess it's kind of goes on to Nana, right? He needs to be the one focusing on it.
Yeah, I think so. Because the Vengeful Spirit's just not really reliable to get that stun. And if you've already doomed the OD, which is very acceptable. Epicenter comes in there, just a little too shallow. Everyone will be able to back out from Rave, but they're now an Epicenter down.
Yo, Rappy almost has eggs. It's like 700 gold away. What a monster.
Yeah, this guy is, I don't know, pretty insanely farmed.
JO's gonna have BKB soon too, though. So, like, any hope of Nana actually trying to take this over, this smoke needs to be amazing. They need to kill, like, JO, Ninja Boogie, and Rior somehow. And currently, their map position isn't gonna allow that.
JO, oh no! Not gonna be able to catch him.
Oh, so late. Alright, counter smoke play time. Yeah, this is definitely the move.
Gonna smoke and wrap around behind mid.
Yeah, they accidentally sent the courier without the smoke.
Well,
Is under attack.
I mean, this works out kind of for Rappy because he doesn't want to fight just yet anyway, and at least use the Chronosphere. May have to, though. Has to lock down Nana.
I mean, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
They will solo Chrono Invoker all day.
Yep, he may not have the Axe yet, but it doesn't matter when you win a big fight like that.
Tower has fallen.
Able to now go and take a tier 3.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
The two things I think that... Oh, man, are we just going in? Rappy, chill, please. I got points to make here, man. Come on. Invoker buybacks? Alright, get the hell out of here. Do they have any chase? Anything? You have a Brood. I don't think you do.
Oh.
So, this rotation from the Brood. This was really interesting. And it's just something that we don't see too often, and maybe this is why. Like, you take over, you have a Radiant side Brood, you get the early tower, but you don't push further into the jungle. Instead, your Spectre comes up here and she farms. And she was relatively, like, kind of safe. But you saw, like, the Lion and Sand King just kind of walked in and killed her. And it's just like, oh. And then that slowed down her farm. She still went for this Yasha Radiance build. Your Broodmother comes down and starts committing webs down here to try and maybe save up some of your own jungle. But I don't know. Like, it might have been more worth it to just play Brood, you know? This tower is still here.
No,
How
I
does that
agree
happen?
with you. I think they should have gone Iron Talon on Spectre and just had her jungle a little bit more. I mean, her jungling capabilities did get buffed. Get any like Iron Talon actually makes it pretty efficient for Spectre now because you burst down one of the creeps with the active, right? I actually when it's Spectre, I burst down the creep that's the easiest to kill. Say if it's like the centaur camp, I burst down the little centaur because then I can start beating into the big centaur with all that desolate damage, which was something that changed Spectre a little bit, as being able to get desolate damage on neutrals and Roshan made the hero farm a little bit more efficiently.
Boogie? He's thinking about some plays, man. Like, so he's got Blink, Force Staff, and Gem. Damn. Ninja, Boogie. So, Broodmother, Hard Life, she runs across that. This game just feels very difficult for the side of Warriors Gaming. Especially because they just had to commit that buyback, too.
Yeah, and I would say that Rave just have Had a pretty solid strategy in response to the Broodmother and executed very well. I don't think they've really made any big mistakes.
No, not really. Like the most difficult thing that they had this game was like dealing with the Brood in the very initial stages, you know, just the sentry battles and stuff like that. But I mean, that's a lot of that's just plain old luck, honestly. Let's be honest. So, no, they've been having themselves a good old time. Ninja Boogie, perfect positioning, gonna be able to try and pop any smokes that come in. Now, of course, you generally will get caught here, especially if you don't have like the observer to see when it gets popped. So, it's a little bit risky in this sense, but this ward right here, I'm safe.
I do like the fact that he dug himself a little bit deeper into the trees as well. 13-19. See, almost the top 3 net worth on the board is Rave members. The one sitting in 3rd, just ahead of the Faces Void, is the Broodmother. But that's not the hero that, well, yeah, it needs to have a lot of net worth. It's a bit concerning when it's your top net worth hero by a decent margin. Both the Invoker and Spectre. A little bit too far behind to easily win these fights. That said, Warriors can still come back in this game if Rave mess up somehow. But it's really hard for Warriors to actually punish without disables.
Yeah, and the crazy amount of vision they've had as well throughout the entire Radiant jungle. Like, they've been keeping an eye on Warriors for the past, like, 5-6 minutes or so. They're just now starting to expire, but you can even see Ninja Boogie was, like, farming all the way up to here despite not seeing anyone on the map, just because Invoker for 1 second popped his little head into, like, right there, so down where Faces Void is now. I'd imagine they're going to try and do the same thing, get that vision up, abuse the gem, and just use this Aegis for the win.
Just waiting on Rave to make that next move. Looks like they won the last tier 2, so gonna push out top lane, maybe try and gank the Broodmother once. That fails, it doesn't
for
really
something
matter.
here. The fact that he went like into the Blink Dagger rather than the Aghanim Scepter, just he's gonna rely on like mega AoE to try and win this one out in like a single shot as opposed to massive like high ground spam, which is kind of interesting. Also, obviously, going to help your split push quite a bit by having the blink and the bots.
A 42-second cooldown on Chronos here. While they've got this Arcane Rune. Now would definitely be a really good time to go hunting for that Broodmother that's top, but they're going to start moving towards mid. Yeah, I was trying to scout that out right now.
Yeah, this smoke is just like living on the courier for so long. I think they definitely wanted to abuse that Arcane Rune, but they never quite have it.
Missed opportunity for Rave. And they'll still have plenty more. But can't afford to miss too many of these opportunities. This Warriors Gaming are going to be able to farm themselves into a bit better fighting stance. If they get the Diffusal and the Spectre, that'll be a very significant upgrade. Uzi caught, Ninja Boogie. The Burrow Strike to the side, force-staffs himself away, hides himself a little bit longer. 1 more second with the blink, no! Can't get it, the Yule Scepter will put a stop to that one. He still has the Burrow Strike up in a second. The rest of Rave are on their way. Fortunately, we are actually running into the ice wall, but still doesn't matter. They kept their Sand King alive, and Rave will now push out that top lane and I believe go for the tier 2 now that Warriors just attempted something aggressive like that. Whoa, Rappy catches him right on the side. Good Chronosphere, a pick off on the Doombringer. See the damage of Jo going to work, and he's going to have a fresh item here pretty soon. He could already afford a Crystallis if that was his choice. Maybe it's an MKB though. And to Broodmother, that would make a certain amount of sense.
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I think I'd be up for that right there. So, last tower. That to be worked on here. I wonder what Ninja Boogie. Oh, he actually went for Aether Lens, Boots of Travel. Man, he is so farmed. They're also farmed. Everyone except for poor old Derp. But I mean, that's just the line. Like, he's got his blink, he's got his trackles, he's happy. You know, he'll get an Aether Lens eventually.
Yeah, yeah, that's essentially it, right? You're like, once you have Ether Lens, you don't even know what to do as a line. You just get more utility most of the time. 4-step, Scepter. It's not like you're legitimately gonna build an Ags or something like that. Just not really a hero that benefits that much from it.
Yeah, unless you're like mega high ground defending. But, I mean, you never get it then anyway. So expensive. Alright, Joe. This is still 10, yeah. I was gonna say, he's had his BKB forever, but it's still 10 seconds, because he hasn't even had to use it yet. As to their credit, Warriors have been dodging and avoiding all fights, and... well, no Aegis, so they're just outie. Gonna be winning again. I don't know, it definitely does come back around towards the side of Warriors Gaming. Like, Spectre, Invoker, Doom, Vengeful Spirit, and then even just the Broodmother. Yeah, maybe not the best late game hero, but she certainly helps in total map control and pressure.
Yeah, for sure. I would be concerned if Nana was closer to his Ags. The Diffusal is obviously a significant upgrade, but I don't think there was much that Rave could do to stop that. But if they end up going high ground against Ags on Invoker, plus this Diffusal on Spectre, and then what? Looks like Unity's going for a mech on their Doom. So, I guess that's a small upgrade. Honestly, Doom is... I like the fact that he's switching here. I see, when Dooms are really successful, they tend to go 1-4-4 to maxed out Infernal Blade, but I think in a game like this, once it starts stalling out, you have to start going for those levels of Devour. Try and boost your farm.
Yeah. What about Rior here, going for the Moon Shards? Not opting for like a secondary defensive item, or it's just straight up Moonshard.
I think Moonshard is by far the most valuable damage item on OD, but the question of whether or not he should have gone something more defensive.
I mean, the Lincoln's is obviously really sick against Doom. I'm a little concerned because it's still an Invoker that's looking towards Eggs, but... Did they miss the burrow and the earth spike?
Yeah. They missed a lot there. Timing's not on point.
You know, they're just losing it, though, I'm sure, when that happened. That's some good stuff right there. Alright, tower's down, Brood's cutting, Wen's on his way back.
Rior, is he in prison? They're gonna Chronos Spear to the Doom to make sure he doesn't have a chance in hell to actually get off his ultimate. Now, he will be able to buy back, but it looks like the fight is already kind of won here. Warriors not able to fight this one out, really. Spectre gonna lose those illusions real quickly, gets dropped by the hammer from Rior. And he actually instantly blinks himself away ahead of the ice wall, too. Good play there from Rave. Re-engage here. They made to get the Bro Strike onto the Invoker. Yule Scepter goes out, but I don't think he's escaping here. The Epicenter plus the Blink Dagger able to catch him, runs him down nice and easily. And Warriors, they are up in your face, trying to buy back as many times as possible, but they just keep on getting slapped back down by Rave. They're gonna go for a second lane of Rax, and why not? They know that some of these heroes do not have buyback. 20 seconds to be able to get a second lane, Warriors. You gotta call it. The battle out to the bitter end.
Man, nobody giving in today.
Yeah, really, really aren't. They've got, oh, I think this is pretty sick. I actually like this build a lot. I think Rappy's gonna be going Silver Edge here against the Spectre. And either way, like, I like the, I like Shadow Blade. Just like I like it on, like, Earthshaker. Sometimes the Blink Dagger just isn't enough of a positioning tool. But if you combine the two, it's, like, so impossible for Warriors to actually get the read on where the blink is going to be coming in and when they're going to get chronoed.
Yeah, no, I'm down with that. It's kind of like, you know, if it's more of an int hero, sometimes you'll get a 4-stab for the same idea, but this helps add a little bit more damage, and plus, you know, Shadow Blade, it's fun. And never hurts to be taken off that dispersion too. So 22% damage reflected, kind of massive. And then you also get the total damage output reduction too. Like you can throw that on Invoker or somebody else as well.
Uh-oh. No, that's a 3-man chrono.
That's Moonshine build right there.
Yeah, they call it. They don't even wait for someone to die before they call it. As soon as the 3-man chrono, they're like, oh, that's it. I'm dead.
I mean, if someone's getting chronos like that for you and you're playing OD, just buy like 4 Moonshards.
Yeah.
Like, honestly. Sick plays. Ninja Boogie and Rappy just doing everything that they need to do to control everybody. And Jo also 15, 1 and 8. I mean, he was just kind of there. I don't remember anyone actually right-clicking Jo this game.
Yeah.
I don't know if he even took damage. Did he even use his BKB? I'm actually not sure if he did.
I'm pretty sure he used it like once or twice.
Oh, the last fight, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he totally did.